All right, as we move ahead to our final guest of the show, him and I, we've been having these conversations for years at this point, since right after UFC 195, when a promo for Dana White's Looking for a Fight aired on the broadcast, and a young man got on the microphone and called his shot, calls out CM Punk right in front of Dana White, and 3 months later, he made his UFC debut, and has been quite the ride for one Mickey Gall, who joins us on the show. Mickey, good to see you, man. How are you?
I'm doing good, Mike. Good to see you, my brother.
It's good to see you too. It's great to have you here. How has quarantine life been treating you, Mickey? It's a crazy time in the world, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's all right. It's all right. It's funny. You and me, obviously, we go back a long time. Mike Heck, Mick Gall, the Four Letter Boys. We've done a lot of these. But this week, man, everybody wants all the MMA reporters want to talk and do interviews, and I'm like, damn, I don't know what to tell anybody. I don't know when I'm fighting next. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what Khabib and Tony are doing. No, it's like so it's a little bit of a weird time, a little bit of a lull.
Yeah,
but I'm happy to be here and just chop it up with you and catch up.
It's like the good, just going back to the good old times, when life was a lot simpler.
Yeah, no, it's very simple right now. Life is very simple right now. Life is very simple. It's interesting. I think not to go conspiracy, dude, but I think there's something else at play here. But I'm hoping that all this stuff will at least make us realize what's important, help us appreciate normal life, and just be, hopefully just be everyone be nicer to each other, and just appreciate the small things that we take for granted.
Well, I have to know what else you think is in play here, Mickey.
Man, I don't know shit. I don't know shit. They don't tell me, but they don't tell us. Who knows, man? Who knows? It could be they could be doing bad. I like to think that maybe they're doing some good, maybe cleaning up some stuff, maybe putting some bad bad people who've come into power away. But how much of me believes that? Like less than 1%. I guess if I was being objective, I'd probably say there's something a little more darker at play. When is it not? But I'm gonna remain optimistic.
Well, that's all we can do, man.
It seems a little like a sleight of hand, right? Like everyone's got to stay in their home. We're gonna worry about this thing while what's going on over here. Who knows?
I mean, I see what's going on in the news. I try to stay positive. That's all I can do. Maybe there is other factors in play. I don't really know. I'm just, like you said, trying to take it one day at a time, be nice to people, and spread that positive juju. And you're doing that as well, because I did see a post on Instagram. I wanted to start off with this. You're trying to help by feeding those in need, those who can't afford to eat right now. And a lot of people have lost their jobs. They're struggling financially. And I thought you at least putting that out there was really refreshing. I know you've been visiting and volunteering at St. Anne's Soup Kitchen in Newark for a long time now. What does this cause in particular mean to you?
It means a lot. It's, it feels, it's rewarding. Like when you give back and when you are able to, when you're able to do, spend your time to help other people, it makes you feel good. I don't, there's not, it sounds funny. It's like, because you're helping them and it's important, it's such a fundamental needing to eat. It's so basic, everyone needs to do it. We do it so many times a day, whatever. But some people, especially people who they don't have money to buy, they don't know where their next meal's coming from. They don't know what's happening there. So, St. Anne's, I'd been volunteering since I was 13, with my mom, my sister, and now my mom's actually the director of that kitchen. She took a bigger role with them, and she's I'm really proud of her. It's cool stuff. She's able to, she's been a hero through this coronavirus thing. She's out there, mixing up with people to make sure people aren't going hungry, and so I'm really proud of her. And myself, I sponsored a family. I don't want to hear or see people going hungry. So I just wanted to, use my little following I had to hopefully be able to, feed some people, keep some people alive, keep some people healthy during this shitty time.
I'm sure things have changed there with everything going on because you can't have large gatherings. So like I know in the
Yeah,
Boston area, I mean, there's hundreds of people who are in need without a pandemic, and I'm sure that number is growing even more so now. I mean,
for
it's not
sure.
the dead of winter in the Northeast, but it's still pretty
Thank
damn
God.
cold out, man. But some of these people, they don't have heat or hot water, or don't even have shelter at all. So I'm sure it means a lot to them to see you, to see your mom as they pick up their food. Since I assume they have to take it to go, but I'm sure these visits
Exactly.
mean a lot to you as well, especially in these chaotic times.
Yeah, absolutely. Being able to go over there and help, it really feels good. That's what I try and like tell people like who when people are saying like they're feeling like they're missing something, or they're having angst and struggles, like try and just give back. That's gonna hit those reward systems right away. That's gonna you're gonna feel better about yourself. You're gonna feel good about what you did. You're gonna feel like you accomplished something. Um, but yeah, their kitchen is closed, that is shut down because they can't have all the gatherings. So they're doing all to go meals. Um, so it's good. It's been going really well. A lot of people have been getting fed, and for lack of a better word, been kind of saved during this crappy time where they're gonna, instead of resorting to doing something worse, they can go get food, and everybody's happy.
One thing I noticed when I saw that Instagram post, like if you scroll down at the top of a lot of your comments on Instagram, you see Chuck Zito in there, Trucky the Enforcer, Frankie
Oh yeah.
Diamonds. Like I know you've met a lot of cool people in your day, but have you gotten the chance to rub elbows in person with Chuck Zito?
No, no. Me and Chuck are just Instagram friends more, but I've been a fan of Chuck Zito forever. Who doesn't? Everybody kind of like wants to be Chuck Zito. Chuck Zito's a total man's man. He's motorcycle gang tatted up, bodyguard. Tough guy. So yeah, Chuck Zito. Chuck Zito's the man. Yeah, Uncle Chuck.
Do you remember your first interaction with him on Instagram? Did he comment on something you did, or how did that all happen?
I think so. I think we were like following each other, and just like showing love and stuff. He always puts up cool shit. And yeah, he just just Instagram friends. This is a cool world, man. I kind of resisted it a little bit at first. Not the Chuck Zito thing. Just even the Instagram world, because it's weird. Because like if you don't know people in person, it's like, how do I really know you? You know what I mean? But it's cool. I've been able to like make other connections and reach out and make some good friends through Instagram.
The last time we spoke, you were coming off the win in Newark, and you were getting prepared to fight Carlos Condit in Washington D.C. And as everybody knows, right by now, Carlos was injured, forced out of the fight. It's a part of the fight game. Injuries happen, but man, how disappointing was that for you? Because I know how much you wanted that fight.
Yeah, it sucked. It sucked. But it's all good. It's all good. I got bigger plans than that. I was just a stepping stone along the way. It would have been awesome, but I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. It's not. That's not gonna make or break me. So, I'm cool with it. I'd say I'm moved past it now. But yeah, it sucks, man. It's the worst, and who knows? It'll probably happen again that I'll lose an opponent. It's a crazy sport that we do. Um, but yeah, I'm happy. I hope he's doing well. He's a true legend, and dude, I've looked up to, and a lot of people in my generation looked up to. So it would have been an honor. Yeah, it would have been an honor to get in the ring with him.
Once the news came out, I'm sure you saw this, but everybody and their brother started calling you out, wanting to replace Carlos. And I didn't even tell you this. I had fighters texting me, asking me about it, which was pretty bizarre and surreal. And I was like, what are you talking about? Like, what am I going to do? But, as much as you wanted to get in there and compete from a business standpoint, I didn't think you taking a fight with a guy making his UFC debut or anything like that after signing to fight Carlos Condit, I didn't think that made a whole lot of sense. Was that how you looked at it as well?
Nah, I wanted to fight. I wanted to get paid and stuff. The UFC didn't maybe the UFC didn't think so, because they didn't really bring me any of these guys' names. And the UFC didn't present me with any of these guys' names. Like I've heard people like being like, yeah, I tried to get that fight with him and he said no. I didn't say no. They obviously didn't think enough of these people to even offer him to me. So it was kind of weird. They at the last moment we tried to make a Cowboy Oliveira fight, and that just kind of fell apart. But that was the only name the UFC floated my way. No one else was offered to me, just Cowboy.
What happened with that Cowboy fight? Because they announced it, and then like 10 days later, they said it wouldn't be
Yeah,
happening.
I don't really know. It was kind of weird. I don't really know. There wasn't really much reasons given. I you know, not really sure.
Because then he fought a week later, which I thought was even more strange.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, me too. Me too.
One thing you've continued to do is get work in other gyms, get some different looks. I know you spent a good amount of time in Ohio over the last few months training with guys like Matt Brown, Mark Coleman, and a host of others. I mean, working with guys like Matt and Mark, two veterans, two guys who have just a ton of fight experience and a lot of life experience too. It's hard not to take something away from each session and each conversation with those guys. Is that accurate?
Yeah, yeah. That was an awesome experience. Something that we'll be continuing to do. Me and my brother LJ Raboli. We went out there. It was like the third time we went out there. And yeah, training with Matt's great. Matt's just as advertised. He's tough, nice dude, but he eats, trains, and sleeps. So we're doing exactly what we're supposed to be doing out there. We're just working, and we're working hard, and that's what we like to do too. So that's great. And yeah, Coleman's a legend too. He's out of his mind. But nah, Coleman's awesome. Coleman's awesome. Always, I like Coleman a lot. I was a fan of him, and I've become an even bigger fan, getting to know him personally.
How much has that helped you grow from a mental perspective? Because you've had a lot of great mentors in your life, guys like Jim Miller, David Adib, of course, and then you've gotten with guys like Eve Edwards and Donald Cerrone and a host of others. How much has that helped you grow from a mental perspective, being around all these guys and conversing with them?
Greatly, for sure. I'd say learning skills and mentally. Just how can you not, if you're a young hungry fighter, how can you not grow from spending time with guys like that? It's like almost like an apprenticeship in some other job. I think it's necessary. You got to go around and mix up with the best guys in the world. And how are you going to be the best if you don't fuck with the best? You know what I mean? So I like to go and spend time with the best in the world.
We're in a very interesting time right now in the sports world. And while many leagues and organizations, even combat sports promotions, are hitting the brakes on the calendar, the UFC, they're actively looking to stay the course with everything going on right now. Does that excite you, knowing that Dana and the UFC, they want to give the world a sense of normalcy here?
Yeah, I totally get where Dana's coming from, and I think he's right. If you can test the fighters, put us in a cage. We don't need an audience, but let's put something on the TV, something that people can do and stuff like that. I'd spoken with Dana, and I'm not too worried, especially based on what he's saying. He made it very clear that once this shit is over, like UFC's gonna be on and popping. Like I have a feeling there's gonna be like Thursday, Friday, Saturday cards this summer because he's very adamant about getting everybody 3 fights this year. So I don't know exactly how they're gonna do that. That's kind of what I'm thinking is they're gonna like almost have like International Fight Week like several times. How they do like those cards like back to back to back. So I'm not too worried. I do appreciate as not just like so a UFC fighter, but also just like a fan, like that Dana's breaking his balls trying to put this stuff on for everybody, not just for him, not just like for himself and his company, his pockets, but like he's trying to provide an outlet for everybody who's stuck at home right now.
Have you been approached about fighting at UFC 249 at all?
I've not, but I spoke with my manager, Dave Martin. And I told him, I'm ready to, we're ready to hop in. If something comes along, we're gonna be ready.
From our last couple of conversations, I mean, you're at a point where you're down to fight anybody. That you did list a few names like Diego and Mike Perry. Obviously, if Condit popped up, you'd probably jump on that at this point. What's sort of like the A1 fight you want next? Should it be available to you? Like if they can make it happen, who do you want to get in there with?
I don't really have one because I feel like if I try and like lock myself in too hard, almost like I guess kind of coming off the Condit fight, I don't know if I'd want to. I don't know if I trust Condit to make it to the fight. You know what I mean? So it's like I don't really know. I want someone who really wants to fight, and not that he doesn't. I just I just you just mentioned that name, and that's I don't know. I'm a little perplexed on that one. I don't want to get all ready and then 2 weeks out again that fall through. But yeah, Perry would be a good one. I got a feeling we're going to be doing that in the next within the next year or maybe even sooner. Probably not going to get Diego again. But that's all right. That's more of a personal. I slipped on my kidney banana peel in that one, and that's on me. I'll just have to own that. And but yeah, man, whoever, I'm ready. I'm ready to make weight, a lot, and I'm feeling great and want to put on a show. I just want to get in that top 15 and then get in a title contention over the next few years. It's belt or bust. If I don't come away, if I don't end my career with a belt, it's a bust for me. So that's what's really important.
What did you think of the Diego Pereira fight and how that all played out, and then sort of the aftermath of it all with Diego and his coach going and doing the media tour and the media rounds and
That's
stuff?
all weird shit. I don't really want to talk about it. So it's just weird shit. I get where people are coming from. Yeah.
Fair enough. I was looking at you do have an IMDb profile, but you're missing a credit.
Oh yeah.
Where's Spencer Confidential? You're in there. It's not for long, but you're in there.
What is it? But I have an IMDb? I don't even know. I got to check that out.
Yeah, you're on. It's anytime you're on Ariel's show, it made it up there. Embedded series, things like that, it puts you up there. But I was looking, Spencer Confidential's not there.
No Spencer Confidential, huh? Well, I got a new one that's coming out where I actually have like some lines, and I get in a bar fight with Sean Patrick Flannery. It's coming out this summer. It's the movie's called Mickey Kelly. So hopefully that'll get me back on IMDb.
Is that going on is that theaters, Netflix? Where's that coming out?
I don't know exactly. I'm not sure. I don't know. I think they're still in like the post-production stuff, but it's cool. It was a cool opportunity I got to do this summer in Petaluma, California. But yeah, I get a nice little fight scene. It's called Girl Bitch. It's pretty sweet.
Did you think that you'd be in movies 4 years, 3, 4, 5 years later?
I don't know. No, I didn't. I guess I didn't think it. But it's fun. It's kind of like fighting where they're like ready, set, go. Now you got to do like the right thing. You got to do but way less consequences. But I still get a little buzz from it. So I enjoy it, and I definitely will be doing more of that. But I'll never let it screw with my training. With the way I train, if anything, I'm always tinkering and borderlining on overtraining. And when I get like these like film opportunities, I can still train and do stuff, but it makes me kind of have something else going on where I can almost like relax a little bit. So I really enjoy these. I know people might be, and who cares? I don't care. People are always going to have their opinions, but might think like, oh, how could you got to focus trust me, my focus is undeterred, but these are nice little extra things that are cool.
Do you feel like you've caught sort of the acting bug a little bit?
Yeah, maybe something to do after fighting. I think that'd be a cool thing for me to get involved in and do after fighting. But I got some heads to crack and some belts to win beforehand.
Last thing before we let you go, Mickey, this is a chaotic time in the world, like we talked about. For anybody watching right now, what's the message for everybody, the fans, the media, people outside of the MMA realm? What's your sort of positive message for everybody to sort of stick together and get through this whole thing?
Yeah, I'd say, stay patient. I know we've never seen anything like this before, or I don't even remember hearing anything like this before. I'd say just stay patient, try not to buy into too much of the fear, but at the same time, have a healthy fear and do the right things. Don't be selfish. But yeah, man, I don't know. I just stay patient and just remember who we all are. Remember who you are. Don't let this weird time away from your job and all the things that define you and that you find your identity in. Don't, now that they're taken away and shipped away, don't let it forget who you are. You know what I mean? I think that's an important thing. Just remember who you are and stay patient.
Well said. Always great chat with you, man. I'm glad to see you doing amazing things. It's been quite the road for you and I both. And like I told you, when it came to putting on this first show, I just knew you had to be a part of it. And it means a lot that you would be. All the best to you, Mickey. Stay safe and healthy, and we'll talk soon, man.
Thanks, man. It means a lot to me that you would have me, and I'm proud of you. Congrats. I know you're gonna keep doing big things in the MMA world, and I think MMA fighting is a great platform for you. So yeah, I'm happy for you. And anytime you want to do this again, just let me know.
All right, man. I appreciate the time.
Take care, Mike.